An all-encompassing search of the Avery family property in Larrabee led investigators to some gruesome evidence. These search warrants tell us where investigators found it. According to court documents, police found bone fragments and teeth in a fire pit area about 20 yards south of a garage located next to Stephen Avery's trailer. They also found remnants of steel belts of approximately 6 tires that were used as fire accelerants. A forensic anthropologist identified the bone fragments as human and belonging to just one person. Based on the characteristics of a recovered pelvic bone, the bones are believed to be from an adult human female. The teeth were also identified as human. Warrants reveal police also found a number of 5-gallon buckets on the Avery compound property, which appeared to have been used to distribute the burned remains. Stephen Avery's computer has been turned over to an investigator in Grand Chute to look for images including pornography, bondage, torture, and death. Investigators also believe they'll find evidence on the computer that links Avery to the crimes, as well as evidence confirming that a business transaction occurred between Teresa Halbuck and Stephen Avery at his residence. The state crime lab said late last week blood found in Teresa Halbuck's SUV came from both Halbuck and Stephen Avery. The warrants indicate technicians found the blood in the rear cargo portion of the vehicle and also in the ignition area. They also found visible palm prints on the rear hatch area of the Toyota RAV4. Investigators say there was blood in other vehicles on the salvage yard property as well. Officers also found a Toyota ignition key adjacent to a nightstand in the bedroom of Stephen Avery's residence. Police say it starts Halbuck's SUV. Officers also found 2 Wisconsin license plates in a scrapped vehicle on the north end of the salvage yard. The plates, later identified as Halbuck's, were crumpled up. Other items seized during a search of the Avery property included material believed to be human muscle tissue, material believed to be human skin, dog feces, a plastic pail apparently containing dog food, cutting instruments, tire impressions, and soil samples possibly containing DNA material. Calumet County Sheriff Jerry Poggle says the investigation of the Avery salvage yard is over. Now comes the task of processing the hundreds of pieces of evidence that could help bring Teresa Halbuck's alleged killer to justice. Laura Smith, Fox 11 News.
Showing little to no emotion, Stephen Avery was ushered into a Manitowoc County courtroom Tuesday, facing charges of first-degree intentional homicide and mutilate a corpse.
The act that is alleged in the complaint, as well as the destruction of evidence, is all of a highly violent nature.
Special Prosecutor Ken Kratz says it's Avery who killed Teresa Halbuck on Halloween and then tried to burn her body. Kratz asked the judge to hold Avery on $1 million cash bond, citing the seriousness of the alleged crime.
The state argues that the character and strength of evidence in this case is substantial.
But Avery's court-appointed attorneys argued for a much lesser amount, a $50,000 cash bond. They warned people not to make the same mistake that was made 2 decades ago, when Avery was convicted of sexual assault and spent 18 years in prison for a crime he did not commit.
Stephen Avery is proof of the tragic fallibility of our criminal justice system. He forfeited 18 years of his life for a mistake, for an injustice, and we intend to make sure that that doesn't happen again.
It was DNA evidence that exonerated Stephen Avery from prison in 2003 after serving 18 years for a rape he didn't commit. Now DNA evidence could put him back in jail for life. Human teeth and bones believed to be all that's left of Teresa Halbach were found in a burn pit behind Avery's garage. According to the criminal complaint, a forensic anthropologist has described the bone fragments as the obvious result of mutilation of a corpse. The anthropologist further stated that almost every bone in the body or body area is present and has been recovered from the scene. Stephen Avery's and Teresa Halbach's blood were found inside Halbach's SUV, but the criminal complaint has newly analyzed DNA evidence showing exactly where Avery's blood was found. DNA matches show his blood was on the driver's seat, the ignition area, the front passenger seat, and the rear passenger door entrance. Also in the complaint, investigators say DNA material found on the Toyota ignition key seized from Stephen Avery's bedroom matches his DNA profile. Avery told investigators he never was in Halbach's vehicle, so his blood could not be inside her SUV. The complaint says blood found in the rear cargo area of the Toyota RAV4 was analyzed and found to match DNA on a Wild Cherry Pepsi can recovered from the front console of the SUV. Analysts found both DNA samples originate from the same woman, investigators believe to be Teresa Halbach. Lab technicians also matched up the female DNA from the charred remains investigators found in the burn pit with DNA from a human blood stain in the vehicle as well as the soda can. The complaint says Avery told police he saw Halbach between 2 and 3 p.m. on October 31st in the driveway outside his trailer home. He told investigators he paid Halbach $40 in cash and Halbach gave him an Auto Trader magazine.
Stephen Avery's parents, Alan and Dolores, came to the Manitowoc County Courthouse to support their son.
State of Wisconsin versus Stephen A. Avery.
During the brief court appearance, the couple sat in the first row, right behind him.
Dolores, do you have anything to say after the hearing?
After court, the Averys had nothing to say to reporters, but several friends and family members did speak out.
I think he's innocent. There ain't enough evidence to me.
Aaron Greeton is engaged to Stephen Avery's daughter.
What about all the DNA evidence they said, the blood in the car, everything on the property?
I don't believe none of it.
Cousin Dave Cherney has supported Avery all along. He's still standing behind him.
It's bull. It's a complete setup. That's what I'm going to say right now.
It just don't make sense.
Danielle Tegelman says she knows Avery from visiting the salvage yard, and she's convinced the police are out to get him.
And I don't think he did it. And if you're suing the police for $32 million, don't you think they'd set you up too?
But Mary Novak sees it differently.
I cannot see how somebody can say that all this evidence was planted on their property. I do not believe that.
She says she's known Avery for several years, and for her, the evidence against him is overwhelming.
I feel he did this, and whatever he gets out of this, he deserves.